This movie tells a story of Lucius, who is forced to enter the Colosseum and must look to his past to find strength to return the glory of Rome to its people, after his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors who now lead Rome. This movie is really lackluster. It's dull, jumbled, lazy, and meandering mess that feels like an obligation. The plot is a convoluted mess of betrayal, politics, and exposition. It's overly busy plot, but none of it is interesting. They never feel part of a coherent whole, rendering the movie frequently disjointed. The original movie is leaner and easily understood by all involved. The movie provides a revenge motive to Lucius, similar to that which drove Russell Crowe's Maximus in the first film. The narrative parallels with Gladiator only press home the current project's derivative status. This sequel follows the same beats as the first one, yet over-explains itself at every turn. Characters refer to each other with their full titles and familial relations. As if the film is uncertain, we can't remember who just walked in. The movie constantly invites comparisons to the original by making explicit references to key lines of dialogue and remixing iconic scenes. It's a film that asks us to remember how great the original film was, which in turn makes the sequel lesser by comparison. Despite occasional flashes of inspiration, this sequel lacks both the impact of its inspiration and the fresh ideas necessary to stand on its own 2 feet, and it doesn't reveal us anything new about our relationship to the 1999 film. The script is clunky and uninspired, as the movie achieves little coherence or lucidity. None of the dialogue is memorable. There are too many motivations that make no narrative sense, even when addressed in clunky expository asides. It's a case of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. The movie has the flimsy conceit that a fundamentally corrupt institution can be changed from the inside out with a few good men. It echoes elements from the first film, including talk of the dream of Rome as a more egalitarian place, but while that idea is more central to the plot in the sequel, it feels even more abstract. It's only when characters fight that the movie comes alive. This sequel is bigger than its predecessor in almost every way. The various superficial modifications made to characterizations and action sequences operate under faulty bigger is better sequel logic. They live and die depending on the depth of character and performance, neither of which are really present in this movie. There's a lot of build-up to big moments that are over in a flash. Similarly, tension between characters seems to evaporate all too easily, meaning it's hard to really see any weight in their words or actions. It's more expensive and has bigger set pieces, yet none of them feel like anything. They come and go without any lasting impact, because the one-note characters don't matter in the slightest. The lead actor Paul Mescal, who plays Lucius, just isn't up to the task. He never musters any believability into his part as the vengeance-driven soldier turned gladiator. He doesn't provide intriguing presence, and is unable to seem like someone other guys would follow to their deaths. His supposed-to-be rousing speeches are also flat. When he delivers speeches and pretends to lead men, which he often does, it all falls to deaf ears. On the other hand, Denzel Washington's performance is decent. Whenever he's not on screen, the movie feels lifeless and inert. As a character, McInnerny is more interesting and has a more compelling backstory than Lucius. Lucius reads as indifferent until the script requires him to make an abrupt shift in loyalties. He has little emotional range, beyond rage. There's a bland sense of visual chaos that dominates the proceedings, ill-suited by a repetitive editing rhythm, which makes every bloody blow feel mechanical and emotionless. Compared to the grisly tactility of the first film's gladiatorial sequences, the gladiator fights here are accomplished through heavy use of CGI, which saps the brutality of a great deal of its visceral impact, despite the copious amounts of bloodletting. Overall, it's not worth to watch this in theaters. Just wait on your streaming service.